Good morning, RGB. This is Christopher, IRS Certified Acceptance Agent, tax professional, and a business owner. Today, our Thursday live chat, I will be co-hosted by one of the entrepreneurs here in RGB. But before anything else, I hope you guys have your cup of coffee because we're going to talk about any trials and triumphs of a business owner or an entrepreneur here in the Valley, or of course, everybody's affected with the COVID-19 situation. We will talk about what are the obstacles, the challenges, and opportunities. Because I'm telling you guys, we are all in the same boat, and you will never be able to do it alone. We need other people to really share their experience and how they overcome the challenges. Well, until now, we're still thriving through it. We're still sailing through it to enable for us to make breakthroughs on the situation because nobody is really prepared and nobody plans the situation. Before anything else, I would like just to go over on our we have on our service, YCO Tax is an all year round, all in one local and now an outsourced tax payroll bookkeeping service solution that we will help you facilitate and make it easier to process any type of COVID business relief. Either it is an economic injury disaster loan or it's a paycheck protection program. Also with the city, all those documents, we are here to help you. And as a matter of fact, we are willing to give you an hour consultation with no obligation just to check on the documents that you are going to submit. And also with the IRS, of course, there are so many payroll tax incentives that you need to take advantage at this point. This is our current performance. We will be your right hand completing and reviewing the documents so it would be an easy transaction and to facilitate the funds much faster. By the way, as our contribution to our community, we never stop providing and giving resource information in terms of the COVID-19 relief and also taxation, any business tax. You just have to watch us on YouTube. Anything has something to do the guidelines of payroll and bookkeeping. Just follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Type YCO Tax and you will find us. And if you want to read during this weekend while you're brushing your teeth, you are welcome to do so by downloading our summary of our COVID-19 relief. You can also type ycotax.com and you would be able to download it for free. Not just the COVID-19 relief, but also our tax payroll bookkeeping checklist because we are less than 2 months before tax season ends in July 15 because all of you know that they extended it. If you have any questions regarding to your business about running your taxes, payroll, or bookkeeping organization, feel free to text us on our number. Just put your name at 956-425 WICO. And by next week, we will be having our first week for our more deductions this tax season. We will be having it. The first one is how business structure affects taxes and your PPP application. And our Thursday live chat, of course, we will be having Mr. Benito. This is our YouTube channel. Just type Wyco Tax and click subscribe. And this is our website. You would be able to download the PDF. If you're still uncertain, feel free to contact us today. Disclaimer, any opinion, this material has been prepared for informational purposes only. So there is no tax or legal, neither accounting advice on this presentation. That we are not associated on any private, any institutions like SBA, and our company is a private outsourced solution for small businesses for tax, payroll, and bookkeeping. Now let me welcome and let me introduce to you this entrepreneur, business owner from RGB. I met him last year, and he's very passionate about what he's doing. And it's a good opportunity for him to share about his challenges so everybody can relate and how maybe we can take something away, some takeaways from him and how did he strive. And as a matter of fact, he's been in the industry. This is going to be his 30th year on his business. So of course, let us all welcome nobody else but Mr. Benito Campos Jr., the owner of Mid Valley Pest Control. Mr. Benito, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay. Can you hear me well?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna be okay. So, Mr. Benito, what is your the name of your company and what service do you do?
The name of the company is Mid Valley Pest Control. We're out of Edinburgh, Texas. This year, like you said, will mark 30 years of us being in business and serving Hidalgo, Cameron, and Starr County. We offer pest control services from roaches, the ants, the spiders, silverfish, even rodents, termites. Recently, we started doing bird netting. Uh, we also do bee eradication. So we've been pretty busy. Right now is usually historically for pest control companies, it's usually the busiest time of the year.
Oh, okay. With the COVID-19 situation, what is the greatest challenge that you experience running your business?
Uh, Really, but typically when we do a service, we have to go into people's homes. And when COVID began, well, people didn't want us going inside people's homes, so we had to change our service, our kind of our treatment protocol. So now instead of going into people's houses, we were just doing outside perimeters to try and keep the bugs out. So agreements that we currently had, uh, they were under control. So we started offering just a perimeter service outside, so we wouldn't have to go inside. So we could stay busy because people just didn't want. People were canceling, rescheduling, and they didn't want us going into their homes. But it's been working out really well, and people like it. We haven't been going in. People have been paying online with a credit card over the phone, and we've kind of limited our contact in that way. But it's been really good so far. The first 2 or 3 weeks of COVID were really slow, but then we started picking up, and we've been very busy now. Probably the busiest we've ever been in 30 years.
Oh, nice. So is this that you have to close your office when during COVID, the physical office?
No, actually, we're considered an essential business, so we have some commercial accounts that stayed open, some state offices, county offices, and that we had to continue servicing. But obviously, we weren't operating at 100% at the time, but probably 30% in the beginning. But it's getting better now. We had to make some adjustments, just like most people have, and it's helped out.
Yes, and in terms, one of the things that you mentioned a while ago is the manpower or the people. Did you have a hard time about that situation?
Yes, uh, Ritz with in your office, she helped me with that PPP grant, and it was very helpful. The only problem I had was now I had employees that didn't want to go back to work because they felt it was unsafe. So I had to put an ad out to hire some new people, and that was difficult as as the high unemployment rate was high. People just weren't going out and looking for work. So I had a difficult time trying to find someone. I finally found someone. He's in training, uh, and it's been working out. But I was a little concerned that we had to spend the money in 8 weeks because I didn't have the people to pay. So I had a few people that I would hire part time. So they helped me for a little bit as much as they could. But that was a little bit difficult to make payroll and to try and spend everything within the 8 week period.
Yes, that's a very good point, Mr. Benito, and that is everybody's concern. Like, how are we going to spend the amount of funding for 8 weeks? And there is a good news that I would like to mention to you. I'm not sure if you're aware, as at this point, that it's no longer 8 weeks. They extended it. It's longer than that. It's more than 8 weeks period. I would give you I think it's more than, I forgot, but I think it's more than 3-4 months that you would be able to use the money.
Okay,
And
that's
then
going to be
also,
very helpful.
yeah, and number one, that's number one. And number two is also it is going to be what The payment plan will never going to be 2 years. If it's not forgiven, it's going to be more than it's going to extend than 5 years. Let's say the amount of loan is not forgiven, then they will let you have to pay it within 5 years, because the previous provision was only 2 years, but now they expanded it because it doesn't make sense. Instead of helping us, it's going to hurt us because of all this interest. They expanded it to 5 years, enable for the business to really have like a space to recover from the sales. And also the number three, another thing that they adjusted is from 75% of the paycheck protection program, they lowered it to 60%, which means to say the 40% you can use it on your utilities, mortgage, interest payment. Those are the changes that they made. I think it was last week that they did the changes, because I covered that topic on one of the Thursday live chats. And we are here, of course, not just to do the application of the PPP. Since we have all the documents needed, we are starting to process the application for the forgiveness.
Oh, that's going to be helpful.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you don't want you don't want that on your books as a long-term liability. That is all our service as an outsourced tax payroll bookkeeping company, is to make sure to follow the law and to allocate that funding to the right expenses. And at the same time, that it will help you to really increase the margin of your sales rather than more expenses to come, because it's going to fall under your liabilities if it's not going to be forgiven, right? So now
Right.
the challenge that you're having, did you see you mentioned before you applied before, you haven't applied for the grant, correct?
No, other than the PPP, that nothing else. No.
Yeah, it's because the grant, they limited it to the agriculture side.
Okay.
What can you tell about an opportunity, or what lessons we can learn from the situation?
Um, well, I think the fact that they extended 60% is very helpful. The entire PPP program I thought was a good idea. Just that there were some details that they had to work out, and I think they're working them out, because one, you had the money, but you only had 8 weeks to spend it, where the employees were having trouble coming back. I was having trouble bringing them back, because I guess because unemployment is paying so much right now. So I was having trouble bringing back my employees, so I was going to have trouble spending that money on payroll.
Yes.
But it seems to be working out now. So I think, like most companies and businesses, they had to make some adjustments. Like restaurants now do deliveries and pickup only, and so I guess our business had to do the same. But it's been a learning. There's been a learning curve, and then there's been an adjustment.
Yes. With your paycheck protection program, when we process, it only took how many days that you got the paycheck protection program?
I think we've done 4 weeks already.
Yeah, and then the processing is much faster, right? When we process it.
I'm not. I haven't gone to the bank to process it or anything like that yet, so I'm not sure how that's going to go.
Oh, it's
But
already approved. Like how long? It only takes days that you get approved, correct, with the paycheck protection.
oh yes, yes. I think Ritz in your office sent it in on a Tuesday, and I think Thursday is when I got the call that it got approved.
Yes.
And by the following Monday, they already deposited the money in the bank. So it was very fast. Ritz did an excellent job helping us out with that.
Yes, and that's what we are here for, is to make it easier and faster. Because one of the questions that we have is, there are some businesses that they applied some like with their bank, and the problem is until now it hasn't got back to them, because like for example Wells Fargo. But the thing is, the good thing about the PPP, you're not only limited to one. So what we do when we do contact the other local bankers around the area, and then we ask them whether they are offering it, or they are open on accepting applications. So therefore, it's because they're not checking your credit score. So that's why it's easier for us to land the application, but we have the contact resources. That's the what separates us the most to other services. And yes, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add that that Ritz was excellent in that area. She got everything together. She helped me with the paperwork that needed to be submitted, and she was. I was really surprised how fast she was and how fast she did it.
And we were thankful for that, for trusting us and doing businesses on our company, because from this point forward we will help you, we will process also the forgiveness, because that's actually 75% of the job is to get that forgiveness done, because there are more paperworks this time, and we you're rest assured that we are going to help you with that.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. So with you said now the challenge would be getting employees. What do you do to get employees?
Well, usually we put out an ad on Craigslist. I don't do a lot of Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and we put out an ad on Craigslist, and usually we get a good response. Uh, I thought that we'd be getting a good number of candidates, but we got zero in 3 weeks. I mean, people weren't looking for work, and I guess it's the high paychecks that they were getting from unemployment, I guess. But nobody called in, so it was a little difficult. I finally found someone, and they're in training and they're doing really well.
Yes.
But that was a little hard, and I didn't understand why nobody was calling.
You said you also this that the unemployment office or the Texas Workforce Solution, you also land an application there, no?
Yes, when I didn't get a response with Craigslist, I called the unemployment office, and they usually advertise also. They've done that in the past for me, and they have a list of people, and then they send out the notice. But nothing. I got nothing from there either. I mean, zero, nothing.
Yes. Let us take this opportunity, Mr. Benito, because we have 1,500 followers. And can you tell what job are you looking, and maybe they can send their resume on your contact we will provide?
I was looking for a pest control technician at the time. Someone who can do the service. It involves just doing the regular pest control services. It does involve some physical work that we're sometimes we need to drill through concrete
Yeah.
to inject the chemical in there. Sometimes we have to get up into people's attics. We There is some manual labor involved, but most importantly is the training that we offer. We're going to offer training which includes on the job training, also learning the biology of the insects, their habits. Uh, the key to getting anything under control is knowing what the target pest is. Once you identify what it is, then you can find a way to solve their problem. So there's quite a bit of training involved. So,
That's
but
good. And this is going to be a full-time job.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So for those of listeners out there, Mr. Benito Campos, you're from McAllen, Mr. Benito, right?
we're out of Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Okay. He's looking for a pest control technicians. And how many people are you looking at this point?
Well, I was looking for just one at the time, and I think I found him. He's currently in training. We may be looking for someone else after we feel comfortable to cut him loose, and we may be looking for someone else at the time. But it'll probably be about maybe a month from now.
There you go. So that's why they said there are only two problems. Either it's a good problem or it's a bad problem. They
Yes,
said if you don't have work tomorrow, that's a bad problem. But we're not gonna think about we don't have work. We're going to talk about how much work we're going to do tomorrow, and that is a good problem, right? To
yes,
have.
that is a good
Okay.
problem.
Thank you, Mr. Benito. And what we're going to do is as part and advocacy of the WICO tax is not just to provide the service, but also to promote any type of services that we have here in the Valley. So guys, if you are interested about the service of Mr. Benito, and I would be looking for that service also for our two offices. He's servicing both lower and upper Rio Grande Valley. and just find them on Facebook, or they have their contact information. Mr. Benito, we will put your business contact information on this live chat so people can see what services you offer, and also you're looking to train eventually like a technician, a pest control technician, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Benito, thank you very much for your time. And we are hoping that, of course, that you would be able not just to survive, but to thrive and to succeed. More than 30 years of experience, we will learn so much things from you and from this point forward. Okay?
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Let me see if there are people that would ask questions. Okay, there's none so far. And that would be all for our Thursday live chat. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and contact Mr. Benito for any. Do you provide free service code?
Yes, free estimates and
Okay,
inspection.
so he provide free estimate, especially when the office is abandoned for 2 months. That needs to be have something like a maintenance for the pest control. Okay, all
Yes.
right. Mhm. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something about all the challenges and triumphs for a business. It's part of the process, because they said the strongest part of the bone is the one that is broken, and we will not just survive but thrive from this situation. And but don't never do it alone. You always have to find somebody that's much experienced on that field or on that area, and that's why we are here to help you. And by next week, we will start our seminar series for more deductions. I'm telling you, there are more deductions on business taxes at this point. Just follow us and register on our 5-week webinar series that will give you and help you to cut your taxes more than 15 to 20%. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you, Mr. Benito. And you have stay safe and have a good day. Okay,
We'll see you, Chris. Thank you.
bye. Thank you.